here we are at Mountain Harbour Hostel. We just ate their amazing breakfast. It was voted the best breakfast on the trail 13 years in a row. And it was the best breakfast on the trail.
I don't know how you would beat it.
It was all you can eat, like everything.
They had casseroles, like one for everybody. I bet there are 30 people here. We are about an hour out of Mountain Harbour, going uphill. Hadn't got any rain yet, which is awesome. So we've gotten a good start. We're in good spirits. I've been texting with NinjaSquirrel back home, and several days ago we had Pond Mountain in front of us coming out of Hampton. So he and I were texting about Pond Mountain, and he had hiked it on our southbound trip probably in late October, early November. And he was like, oh, I actually kind of enjoyed Pond Mountain. It's steepish, but it was an easy climb. So I looked at Pond Mountain, and he was right. I mean, it wasn't too bad. So I was like, oh, great. I compared it to Hump Mountain that we're climbing now. And they're really not that much different in stats. They're both climb at about the same gradient. Well, so I texted NinjaSquirrel this morning. We're doing Hump Mountain today. And he texted and said, oh, Hump Mountain kicked my butt. And I was like, oh, shoot. All three of my boys are hikers. In fact, the other two right now are out ahead of me. They don't even care about this hill. But when NinjaSquirrel says a hill kicked his butt, it's time to listen up. So I'm feeling it. It's pretty humid this morning. We haven't gotten to the rain, and it's not particularly hot, but it is just, it's sticky. And I feel the hill. We're probably not even halfway up it yet. I think North Star has some video of the crew walking through here in November. And again, I think this would be a pretty interesting comparison. North Star is at home editing all this footage into videos that hopefully make more sense than my individual clips do.
I am in North Carolina.
Oh, we're about to cross in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. The trail skirts the border for quite a while. So while we're not leaving Tennessee, I think we are picking up North Carolina. Okay, I gotta show some of this trail. The trail has, in the last mile, gotten significantly wetter. And the greenery on the edges, weighed down by the moisture, is leaning into the trail. There's a lot of mud. And it looks like, I can't quite tell because there's no real visibility off the trail, but it looks like we're getting into the fog a little bit. We just passed some section hikers headed north who said the wind isn't bad up here and you're just hiking in cloud. So they had rain gear on. They didn't mention rain, but usually hiking through fog just gets you wet by osmosis. So my socks are still dry, but my shoes are muddy and wet, and we're a little bit damp ourselves because of all this moisture on the trail. But after Doll Flats, the trail has leveled out quite a bit. So the climb isn't quite as strenuous as it was up to the border.
Well, right now we are on Hump Mountain.
Okay, views like this are pretty cool. You can see our hike for the rest of today and then on into tomorrow. So real close here is Little Hump Mountain. We'll go over that probably Stan Murray shelter you can't see, but then rising up behind Little Hump are the three 6,000 footers. From left to right, it's Grassy Ridge Bald and Roan High Bluff, and then Roan High Knob. So the trail goes over Roan High Knob. You can just about, I think, make the trail out there. There's a shelter on top, and then we'll cross over Roan High Knob tomorrow. Carver's Gap is down there in that little hollow before those 6,000 footers. So just great views today. I love when you can see for miles ahead and behind. It's beautiful up here. We started climbing Little Hump Mountain and made it into the trees. Found this log and had a seat. We just ate a little bit of lunch. There is very little wind here, but we are getting wet. I'd say the temps are probably mid 60s. And so we're just gonna keep going. We got a little bit over Hump Mountain and then probably 3 or 4 more miles to Stan Murray. It is not raining, but our feet do not know that. This is a wet, muddy, runny trail. It's just after 3:30 and we are over Little Hump Mountain, coming down now into the trees, approaching Yellow Gap. Okay, here we are in Yellow Gap. This is where the rescue of the trail crew was made on crazy windy day. It was pretty nasty weather in here last time we were all here. Here's the Over Mountain Trail. It cuts through the gap here. That has an interesting history. Google that. And it runs across the AT. It's the AT South right there. And the Over Mountain Trail continues to the east. So we bailed the trail crew out here on first week in November. That was quite a day. All right, we're our last mile, I think, before the shelter. Fish and I have cut our pace down a little bit. It's been a lot of climbing today, but not unpleasant. The day has pretty much looked like this. Like, it looks wet and cold and dreary, but we're actually pretty dry. It hasn't rained on us at all, and it's not cold. So all in all, it hasn't been a terrible day. We did say that I think we'd like to come back and maybe hit the Roan Highlands. We missed the views in November, and we missed them again today. Now, we still have some high peaks to go over tomorrow, but the forecast doesn't really look like it's going to be appreciably better or favorable for views. So we've enjoyed today. We're talking about maybe we tent tonight, but we're definitely going to pull up here at the shelter and cook us a meal and sit down for a little while, relax, and then we can figure out the evening accommodations. We sat down for dinner at Stan Murray Shelter. We all had our own little flavor, and then decided we think we'll go another mile or so. North Star, I had service to text her, but I didn't really have any service to get forecasts or anything like that. So I texted North Star and just asked about the forecast, and she said it's looking all right. Obviously a little bit of rain and drizzle tonight, no thunderstorms, no crazy wind. And then she also checked far out, and there's a campsite 7/10 of a mile up here. So that's 15 minutes up the trail. And we'll pitch the tent, hang a bear bag, and sleep there tonight. Her forecast also shows that maybe there will be some afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow. So this puts us just a little bit closer to getting over these 6,000 foot peaks before a thunderstorm rolls in on us. We're gonna end our day here about 7/10 of a mile north of Stan Murray shelter. We're getting a little bit of sun and then a little bit of cloud cover. I hear the wind off to the left. We got a little maybe rain in the forecast tonight, but I think we're batting down well. We got good bear bags. And the time is 6:45. We're already getting in the tents. The boys have discovered conservative talk radio on their MP3 players. Their MP3 player has a radio feature. So
It's just this most opinionated guy.
the most opinionated guy. They're just laughing at random stuff. So we're done with MP3s and Taylor Swift for a while. Now we're listening to talk radio.
We don't listen to Taylor Swift.
They don't listen to Taylor Swift, they said. Oh, I got to show you guys the shoes here. I think the story of the day can be told in the shoes. The shoes are pretty nasty. There's Baxter's caked. Mine are not much better. Here are mine. Looking pretty dirty. Grayson said, wait, these socks, they literally were washed yesterday and they look terrible. Hang on, let's get a peek at Grayson's just so we get a balanced. Oh, Grayson's already. Yep. Here's Grayson's new Hoka Speed Goats. They got like what, 60 miles on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. All right. That's the story of the day.